Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. Yay, what is Drakenmemoria, you may ask? Well, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. And tonight, we're not sure. Tobiashi's having home difficulties. He may be here, but he may not. And if he's not, then give him a good prayer, because he's going to need it. Um, yeah, that's about it for the who's going to be here tonight. If you don't like Dungeons Dragon, if you don't like to be here, well, there's not a lot I can say for you. I mean, why are you here? Really, it's. I think we're hitting our 5th year, so if you haven't, figured out what we do on this channel, after watching us here for 5 years, and you still don't want to watch it, maybe there's a deeper problem that you have to look at.
First off, you should probably stop watching A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, it's been wow. I haven't watched this movie in decades.
Sometimes you go for the deeper cuts. What better way than taping somebody's eyes open and forcing them to watch something that they definitely don't want to watch.
Yeah. And then one point in there, watching something you don't want to watch, which is a person that doesn't want to watch something that they don't want to watch. And for those who have seen it, they're pretty sure they know exactly which moment in the movie it is. So, with that, what was I saying? Oh yeah, hi, welcome.
Oh yeah, hi.
Yeah, no, I just look at the chat. No, maybe we have our stalker tonight. At least that's what Roosevelta is calling itself. So who knows?
I mean, for what it's worth, for the stalker, it's like most of the group is single.
Yeah, I don't know about Tobiyashi. I haven't heard him talk about what was her name again?
Insert name here.
Yeah, she used to watch the stream, but she hasn't for a long while, and I noticed that she changed her name on the. It failed. Well, I'm gonna have to check that tonight. All right. Maybe the email address has a problem. All right. I'm going to have to try and email myself because Twitch isn't having any problem emailing me. So thanks for telling me. I'll definitely watch this tonight. Try and email myself using the link on Twitch. So where were we? Oh, yeah. Dungeons and Dragons tonight. If you want to watch, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. If you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, it's WonderDraft. If you like the dungeon map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. And very soon, if you enjoy the town, village, and city maps, that's going to be Canvas of Kings, which I will add the information probably during the week. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Right. Well, in that case, what will happen next for this episode? All right. So, last episode, our adventurer had a few moments to take in the aftermath of the battle at Tobiyashi's childhood monastery. But before they took this moment, our party jumped off the mountain and had a little chat with a dragon who saved them. And when I said they jump off the mountain, I really mean it. They jumped off the mountain and Fisher made sure that nobody splashed on the ground. Once our hero began being adventurers with the necessary resource to treat such a venerable creature with class, they took out their less used equipment and provided a cozy atmosphere for the dragon to take tea with them in a cozy and comfortable cabin. Foldable cabin. Unfoldable cabin. Huh. Should I say foldable or unfoldable? Depends on how it is when you get it. Alright.
And whether or not you can pack it up.
Well, that's the thing. If you get it and it's unfolded, then it's a foldable one. If you get it and it's folded, then it's unfoldable one. Always a case from the point of view. Alright, so after much information was shared, our heroes went back up the mountain and prepared to do the same thing with the survivors of the monastery battle. So, well, I hope you'll join us tonight as our adventurers share a victory meal with the survivors of the monastery, as well as some probably as well as some last-minute information, and then move on to Tobiyashi's last side quest. That's gonna be fun. Fortunately, he has already debriefed us on what was the next side quest he wanted to take on, so you'll be able to finish those preparations if we get there. Sorry. Oh goodness, I think there was too much garlic in what I ate tonight.
Yeah. Or not enough garlic.
Yeah, anywhere between not tasting and melting the camera when I burp, that's not enough.
It's like if I'm not having to replace my computer screen every time I breathe too hard, it's not enough garlic.
Maybe that's why.
Expensive.
Maybe that's why there is not enough people in chat. You know, my breath is so filled with garlic, it just pushes everyone away.
Or it's breaking their screens.
Hold that also. It's always my fault.
Like, we're very sorry if we destroyed your 4K television.
Yeah. All right.
So if you're watching us on a phone, well, honestly, given typical demographics for phone usage, you probably needed to replace yours anyway.
You know, if it's older than 5 months, then you need a new one. This is why I don't talk to my phone. You know, it's 8 years old. It would die. Every time someone asks me if I want to take a picture and send them to them, I'm one of the rare ones that can actually say something that if you say it to a person, it's actually really offensive. But if you say it about a phone, it's okay. Because I always answer, no, I can't send anything. I can't receive picture. I can't send picture. My phone is just too old to be smart. It's okay if you say it about your phone, not about a person. All right. So we don't need a thunderstorm in the background. But if one of you want to start crying because you're just entering a monastery where there's been a massacre, so there's probably people crying.
I thought it was going to be another garlic joke.
Oh, come on, man. A little bit of diversity. Come on.
Besides, the garlic bomb was released a couple sessions ago while we were up in the ship. So,
And in
we've already gotten our dose of chemical warfare.
And in the small garden also.
Actually, wait, maybe that should be the new flavoring of the stinking stone.
It's a garlic bomb. Although, since the one that was using it was Terry, it would actually be very accurate.
It would certainly be a terrible smell.
All right.
I'll be here all week.
Oh, it took me a second.
You just got it.
Yeah.
All right. So, last episode we stopped roughly as you were entering the garden and seeing all of the aftermath of the combat. A lot of people being taken to the infirmary. You went to look around a little bit. You saw the different places where there were incursion and moved on even deeper inside of the monastery, where all of the monastery monks live. And I don't know if I said it, but it appeared that some of the empty rooms had been transformed into trapped rooms. So it took out a lot of people, but it also made a lot of devastation everywhere, as some rooms simply just exploded as when someone entered and tried to pillage or kill anyone that was there. You had a bit of time to take in all of that, everything that was around you. Of course, there is much sadness because so many people lost people that they knew all of their life. And even Tobiashi, as you can see, is very traumatized. He's not saying a whole lot. He's just wandering the hallways, looking at the people he'll never see again. He looks traumatized a little bit. Jorg, you could probably use your blanket.
I will give him my blanket. I'll swaddle him in it while he looks all gloomy.
Refreshing pine scent. It always helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But nevertheless, mixed in with all of that grief, that sadness, you hear people being happy that they're alive. Wondering how is it that they survived all of this. Sure, a third of the monastery inhabitants are in the infirmary, either grievously injured or dead, but something survived. They're not all dead and survivors slave somewhere on an island. And they do seem to take comfort in that. You hear the monks giving their side of the story. Seeing all of you fight. Doing so much for them. well over 1,000 people died in this assault. There are armies that aren't as big as that. 30 adventurers pushed back an entire army.
And a 1,500-year-old dragon.
Yeah, well, he took care of the shit, you know.
Don't worry about that one.
But even so, the dragon was there because you called it. It was all of your efforts. When they tell these stories, they see the dragon as being your secret final weapon. Your counter to their secret final weapon. It feels like you're listening to people telling the stories of heroes of the past. These mighty deeds of a handful of people pushing back against the darkness, saving so many. And for many of them, it felt it was nearly effortless. As everyone is gathering around in the dining hall and a feast is being prepared to celebrate the living and to give a moment also to the dead, there is a moment of silence at the beginning of the meal. But as the meal starts and everyone starts eating, you hear the tales of how this group and this group held the enemy. For the first time, and for a lot of these monks, it's weird because two people held the gate, an archer and a warrior. And it was horrible to be in, but it was amazing to witness. They were completely synchronized. The warrior never let a single enemy reach the archer, and the archer killed waves after waves of enemy with only one volley fired. Of course, you know who they are, Sierraf and Bertrand. You know that it's not actually that, but as you're listening to this, you realize this is how our story is going to be told, and these little twists in the story. You know she can't fire 500 arrows simply by firing once, but it definitely is something with her bow. She probably has something that can create the equivalent of a barrage spell, but a barrage on a barrage. So it feels like thousands of arrows just flew forward as she let loose once, but it wasn't.
Cast one conjure barrage, and then each of those barrages cast conjure barrage, and then each of those ones cast conjure barrage.
Something like that. At least when they're telling it, it feels like it was something like this. Some even ask if they're, together, because usually you don't get this level of harmony in the fighting style of two people unless, and some of the monks don't want to go further than this, because they're not sure, but are they? It really does. You know what I mean, right?
Plus, half of them are eunuchs, so
you hear the tale of those who were rangers. These capabilities they have is simply hunkering themselves in one point and just, throwing a stream of arrow, taking magic from nowhere and enhancing their explosive abilities to such a point that is ludicrous. Hordes of animal being conjured from nowhere and simply rushing themselves onto enemies, tearing them down and then disappearing in a puff of black smoke. And of course, you got those monk just looking at all of you saying, you know, I never got why bards could be feared. I mean, what did they do? They just play music. But now I get it. And they point at one of them, probably after Neisa, the most talented bard there is inside of the garden, another woman, saying how, as she was playing her violin, every dissonant note drove more and more of the enemy completely insane. They started fighting amongst each other, and then suddenly her shadows just popped out of the wall and started fighting those who were able to resist. And some of these shadows started playing music as well, and suddenly they found themselves in the middle of a symphony, both in sound and in enemies dying. It was fearsome, but beautiful at the same time. You have those people saying, now I get it. Now I get why bards are feared. And of course, there's you. All of you. Hearing the tales of how you jumped off a ship into another ship, blew it up from the inside, facing hundreds of people, went on board another ship, and then simply jumped off and made your way to the garden as if nothing exceptional was part of this, as if it was your everyday life. That's just insane.
Just because it is.
That's what, you just hear George saying this. Well, yeah, no, that's actually true. It's pretty much what you do all day long. Monks talking about how each one of you could, with your bare hands, kill enemies when they're supposed to be the ones who have the deadly hands. But no. All audience has to do is open his mouth and BAM! The ground explodes and energy pours out. Fisher simply has to look in front of him and suddenly the world falls apart. Remy, you don't even see him, but people keep falling dead in front of him. He just, and then suddenly, damn. And then Jorg, looks like all he's doing is just transforming into a beast and roaring, but people are dying. And he's got that tree with him. Is he actually a creature? Is this something he summoned? Is he channeling his power through the tree?
To Jorg.
Yes, the most natural of companions, Jorg and Oranek. They're inseparable.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're never apart. You'd swear they were best friends. Swear.
And of course, there's the worm. You know, he just opens his mouth and everyone falls to the ground, puking their guts out. And of course, there's the tale of how he just disintegrated half of the inside of a ship simply by looking at it.
We're the ones spreading that one because nobody else is there. And also,
Well, you know, it's a bit Remy's fault. You know, he's showing what happened, but from a point of view that is too close. So it really does feel like half a room is disappearing. But he was just a bit too close.
It's all about the angles, guys.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on now.
always, always. As the evening keep moving forward and more people eat and a bit more start drinking, both to forget and some to celebrate, you sort of start to understand how high above everyone else you've become in the past year or two. And how amazing that can look to some of them. I mean, you can literally take on an army. There's maybe in the small island chain that you are in right now, there's maybe another 50 people that can actually take you on. Other than that, you're legends. Not a single person you'll meet in an army, with the exception of a hero or a leader of huge army, maybe a king or something like this, would be able to take you on alone. Even wizards. Most wizards never reach level 10, you know? But you've gone beyond that. You've gone beyond what they have.
You know, in fairness, more wizards left their room.
Yeah.
You don't learn spells in the library, you learn it killing people.
But from their point of view, audience, you know, you look like an accomplished priest as well as an accomplished fighter, because you can do both. And quite honestly, many priests they'll meet do not have the level of power that you have with divine magic. This is how legends are born. And you've just became part of a large one. Now, of course, to bring you back to Earth, they also start talking about the other adventurers. Some of them who already have very impressive reputation. And, you know, just after listening to someone boasting about audience, you know, how awesome you were during that fight and just using the power, the divine powers that are above, and then summoning this dragon, you know, he's divine dragon, you're a divine person. Maybe you had a big part of this, you know, maybe the wizard only created the summoning circle, but without you, would it have been there? You know, some people wonder. But then suddenly someone starts talking about Tasul, and suddenly your subject just goes, and you go under the table.
You know what? That's the one thing we forgot to do last session. It's like we needed to make sure that we got the dragon into a summoning scroll. You know, just...
Yeah.
You'll be useful later. Just get in there. Don't worry about it.
Technically, we still have one summon of him. We do have a summoning scroll of him. It's just,
Well, you'll need someone very powerful to try and force his hand.
yeah.
But to be honest, very soon, Terry and Jorg are going to be powerful enough to at least try. They are the full spellcasters of the group, after all.
Yeah. Is Ornak not? Or is he?
Well, yeah, I'm not counting him because he's more of a summoned friend. But technically, as long as you give him the water that allows him to call on his full might, yes, he is.
Yeah, Ornak's just a summoned friend, but Terry is a full group member.
Yeah. Well, he's part of our group. We did add him to the orb.
Yeah. Yeah. He gets a cut of the loot that I hold on for.
You just give him a piece. He looks at this and can I eat it?
Does he care about material possessions?
He will. I'm putting it into a savings account that goes towards his college tuition.
That's a good idea.
You know,
Isn't
that
he already
stuff's
smarter
expensive.
than most of like the college professors, though?
Yes.
Yeah, but you know that a lot of it is just that piece of paper. Like you need the piece of it doesn't matter how smart you are, you need the piece of paper for a lot of people.
You
to
could
take
also
seriously,
just honestly,
so.
at that point, you could just pay them to give you the paper. Other people do that.
Well, yeah, but either way, you still need the money.
Yeah, no.
Just pay for the transcript.
You're preparing yourself for the day when you're going to need to give him a horde, because as Audion keeps saying, we all know he's going to become a void dragon somewhere. So he's going to need a horde. So here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it's for when after he gets to 20 in Sorcerer, he's going to start taking wizard classes.
He's just gonna never stop leveling up.
Just all, yeah.
He's gonna become a level 20 in every spellcasting class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might happen. Who knows?
I could see it with him.
Until he gets stepped on, and then he dies.
His HP never goes up. He's like level 20 in every casting ability. 20 HP.
The ultimate squishy.
The ultimate glass cannon, yeah.
Yeah.
As he starts growing more and more, he's probably gonna, I don't know, put a few points in Constitution.
Nah, it's overrated. Who needs it?
You should put it all in Dex and then just have to.
He does need more Dex too.
Oh.
All of his physical stats
every
are
time someone
bad.
almost steps on him.
He's a 5-inch long worm. He's not dexterous and he's not resilient.
Yeah.
Are the heroes who TP'd out there, did they TP back or are they just back at the garden? Like the guys whose ships blew up?
No, they're back. Once the barrier was taken down, I'm hoping that one of you remembered to do as they asked you to and call them so they could come back. But if not...
I did. I was going to call them. I was going to say I was going to call them if they hadn't been. That's why I was asking.
All right. Well, then in that case, yes, of course.
Yeah, I would call the 2 Dragonborn and be like, yo, we won. Nice job, guys. Come on back.
So they're part of the celebration, and you hear their tales.
First round's on me. No, I'm kidding.
That's a lot of people to offer a first round.
No. Just that, like, first round's on me with, like, the 2 other Dragonborn.
Oh,
not everybody. Also, I have a mug that can make any alcohol. It's not that expensive.
Fair. Even without that, it's really not that expensive.
Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah, comparatively.
Yeah. So.
Also, technically, they owe me a ship, so I think
Is that what happened?
you owe me a ship, guys. Just gotta, can't believe you let it get destroyed. I trusted you and your captaining, and you just can't believe it.
Are you actually saying this to Kay as it?
I might, as a joke. See how he takes it.
Oh, he looks at you for a brief moment, and when he sees that little smile that you can't completely suppress, he just looks at you and says, "Oh, in that case, you should have told me so. Next time, I'll make sure you can go down with the ship." Gives you a slap on the back.
All right.
So
Is there anyone wants to specifically talk to? Or
that's the only reason why I didn't fast forward the entire meal, because last episode you said that you wanted to talk to people.
I think it
before.
was Toby who did.
I believe it was Toby that wanted to talk to
Yeah, I
people.
think it was Toby. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Well, Toby actually wouldn't have been able to talk much, because during the evening, as you're all drinking and being merry and sharing memories and adjusting the memories that some people have of these events, sometime to be more realistic, sometime to be more realistic also, just from a different point of view. You notice the cloth that Tobiashi gave you so he could teleport to anywhere you were, simply vanishing. When that happened, of course, it can mean only two things. Well, three. Either he felt safe and decided to remove it, he's drunk dead somewhere, or he's just plain dead somewhere. It's one of the three.
I'm gonna assume it's one of the first two for this issue.
But as you look around, and although it's not unusual, you do notice that Remy is also not in the room. You don't know when he left, but he's also not there.
They'll be back.
It's kind of weird. 20 minutes ago, he was showing a movie of how one ship got destroyed, and then suddenly he's not there. All right.
Maybe they're making love somewhere. They're, married after all. It is a time for celebration.
Well,
Toby and Remy are done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I missed the Remy part.
Just going at it like rabbits somewhere else in the monastery.
Yeah,
Oh
listen.
my.
Mal just happened. Emotions are high. They have reason to celebrate, maybe, or grief. It's a mixed emotion. It's stuff happens. They gotta figure it out.
Yeah, it's natural for primates and
Avian?
other
And birds.
and
Hey,
not,
listen,
not
man.
birds. Not birds. I've learned my lesson. It's not birds.
Yeah.
Social animals will say to
so Rainey's
Social
an animal.
Social animals.
hey, humans are animals too. We're all animals. It's just nature.
Well, that's not what God
This one I'm not
keeps saying.
backing down on. As a druid.
He's not backing down, guys. Remy is confirmed a social animal in his eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, I said we're all social animals. Okay.
And there's a monk that just looks at you when you say this. No, that's not what they say. Just ask any priest. They'll tell you we are luminous being. We have souls.
Animal.
Mm-hmm.
What is Fisher then, Jorg?
Yeah, George.
Jorg, what is Fisher? Is he a social animal?
Fisher is I don't know. Are you a social animal, Fisher? Do you like socializing?
No.
No.
So he's
Okay.
just an
Well, I guess
animal?
you're not a social animal.
But what is he? I want a definition from you.
You
Right
know-
here,
I don't
right
know,
now.
He's a freaking android or something. I'm a druid. I'm good with fleshy things, not whatever he is.
You know, for some reason, now I'm just really missing, what was her name? Ivara? Because, like, they had this whole interaction, like, a whole bet going on. Among other things, like, you know, like, whether, like, proving a god exists, but then, like, also, like, are you alive?
I want a pat Fisher on the back, or have my social android.
What's an android? I have a construct.
You know, he didn't say android.
I
He
don't know,
said ant droid. You know.
Oh, there.
Yeah. No.
A suit of armor that's just
Oh, I think it's
populated by a
something that
colony
the
of ants. that,
Gnomes.
Yeah.
like,
Are you
put
calling him? Are you
together.
calling him a drone, a hive mind? Do you think they
Construct is
all-
the word I was looking for.
There you go.
And of course, there's a whole bunch of monks who just have this little smile that they're just suppressing as best they could as you're all badgering Jorg to give an adjective to Fisher's existence. You hear one saying, well,
All right.
how are you going to classify him? Honestly, he's got plants inside of him. Says a gnome somewhere.
Kind of. I don't think you could technically call it plants. Not plants. It's maybe plant matter.
Yes, of course plant matters. They always matters.
But yeah.
What plants can spawn a worm? Is typing into the
Yeah.
orb like it's a phone. What plant? No, I'm
Mhm.
kidding. When are they adding the Google search feature on these things? No, I'm kidding. I need to talk to the garden about that. They need to connect their library directly to the orb so we can just pull up information on the fly.
Like, well, I mean, if they do put that in, it's like, we'll need to make sure it's like it's solely run by Sierra and not some other artificial intelligence, because half the time the answers we'll get will be wrong.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, Sierra is an arcane intelligence also, so.
And that's why it has to be, like, it can't be any other, because
Mhm.
at least as far as our party is concerned, like, Sierra has been reliable and accurate and is even willing to admit when she can't give a complete answer to our question.
I don't think I need Sarah to see my search history though.
Oh, it's cute that you think she doesn't already know.
You
Wait,
don't-
do the orbs have a search history?
No,
He's like, wait.
Good. Phew.
not yet.
Oh man,
Like, why are there so many pictures of birds in Tobayashi's?
oh, that explains so much.
Yeah.
So actually, Remy, he doesn't have any problem with you. He's actually obsessed with you, and he's jealous of Tobiyashi. That explains everything. Yeah.
It's entirely academic. Jorg is just trying to figure out how Remy isn't a bird and why he gets angry when he calls him a bird, because he still looks like a bird, and he's just trying to figure that out.
Oh, would Jorg be the kind of person to, like, out of spite, like, do research, like collecting everything to definitively prove
Yeah.
that Rainy is a bird,
Yeah.
so he's not allowed to be mad about it?
Yeah.
You see, I have proof that you are a bird. You're just a flightless bird. like chickens.
Ready the dinosaur.
Similar to the common chicken that roots for worms in the mud. You are,
So, after an evening of getting revenge on the behalf of Remy on Jorg, because Remy is not there right now.
It's almost like he's there in spirit.
He's inspiring.
I've just had an open combo this whole time with Remy. No, I'm kidding.
That's why you kept saying no. They're okay. We don't need to bother them right now. And suddenly, in the middle of the dinner, you saw audience turn around and go in a corner and just say, Guys, we can hear you. All of the people in the garden can hear you right now.
Can someone do server mute?
I'm sorry, I don't have mod privileges in this now.
Yeah, I've got a light that's going down. All right. Good. All right, good.
I don't hear that, and I go to the bathroom loudly.
Well, oddly enough, it depends on which bathroom you want to go to.
All right.
Loud short.
Do we all go to sleep?
Well, if you got nothing to talk about with the headmasters, yeah. Or
I know.
the other adventurers, yeah. You can absolutely go to bed. With images of all you've accomplished, of the legends that are being told about you. I would imagine that for our audience, however, it is a pleasure that has mixed feelings in it. Because, of course, when they talk about you, they can't simply avoid talking about the dragons. That you serve the dragon gods. And the dragon gods have helped today by letting one of their own manifest itself in the middle of the battle.
Yep. It also looked good for my religion because they all died sacrificing themselves in ships, or a lot of them did.
Yeah.
For them.
This is for sure going to boost the reputation of your religion, and more people are going to want to join because of the heroic deeds they do.
But maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's the image, because audience is still on the whole train. This is how audience is like going to bed. He's like, okay, but I know there's corruption, but maybe if I get rid of the corruption, it's a good thing that people are joining for the right reason, because then they'll want to continue. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Past that.
Just like how it's like I'm gonna change the legal system for Brigada by working within the system.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, I've already reached the top of this system internally. That's where you can make change, right?
Of
No.
course. This is why politicians always say, as they're climbing the ladder, that they're going to change the way that the voting system work. And once they get elected, they say, well, it's a bit more demanding to do this than what I thought, so it's not going to be this time. It's going to be the next one.
It's not that I haven't figured out yet that I'm potentially incredibly replaceable, and in fact, they already have my replacements set up.
Well, if you start thinking about this, you did say
I
that
don't actually.
you did hear the rumor that the previous
Yeah.
favorite.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm already replaceable, and my replacement has already been found.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess in fairness though, it's like you did disappear for like 11 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And then this hero that was known before you were took the place that you left empty.
Mm. Sounds like I might have another 1v1 coming up soon. No, I'm kidding.
A second rival?
Uh-oh.
A second rival.
Yeah.
And I guess what would be the
maybe
dragon?
the first one. Except maybe the first one isn't even a rival at all.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What would be the dragon between a blue and a bronze?
Well, that's a question. I need to talk to her because they said I needed to talk to her. So I'll figure that out when we go back to the garden tomorrow. I'll send a letter.
I love the implication you just threw out there. It's like
What?
only one way to find out.
Audience has some letters to send. Him and his letters.
Well, you know, there are other ways of looking through your mind if you don't mind a worm doing the digging and showing everyone around because they can't interpret the image they'll see. All of your past.
Yeah, but I also have other questions for her
Oh,
now. Like, why is she working with the hunter? Like, just a lot of stuff.
Well,
Anyway,
if your memory helps you just a little bit, here you go. Yeah, all right. Why not? Make an investigation roll. See how your mind puts something together.
going to sleep after a battle. This isn't going to be good.
Well, you don't have a high intellect, so I'm not expecting too much.
How do you feel about a 0? 1 minus 1.
You start thinking about it,
Hell
and
yeah.
then you open your eyes, and it's tomorrow. Ah, damn! Again?
Yeah, sounds about right. Just pass out.
All right. So, yeah. The night moves on. Audience falls asleep while trying to think. Fisher never falls asleep while thinking. Tobiashi and Remy, well, we're not exactly sure what they're doing, but they're sleeping after. Even that was left ambiguous at the end of the stream, so something may have happened, something may not have happened.
They played poker all night.
All night long. I'd say probably the one for who night is going to be the most traumatizing is Jorg.
Oh God.
So many dead bodies.
Well, yeah, there is an odd mix of everything that you like and don't like that happened. While you do not have a hatred for dragons, they are magical creatures. So, not the most natural of creatures, but they're a part of the world. They can't be just pulled out. But that's not what bothers you. That's not what comes back to your mind. It's everything else. So much is happening right now. And you've heard someone talking about, when Connie was talking, about some gods, some nature gods starting to react to something happening. And for the very first time, while you were talking to the dragon, you were given the information that there may be two things happening simultaneously in the world. there's all that problem around audience that since up until tonight, it felt like you all had your own stories coming from somewhere else. But after tonight, there's a chance that you are all connected because of audience mistake. But you that you're all connected. You're not sure if you're connected to this, but you wouldn't be surprised. And then there's something else. Something more profound. And when you think about it, it would be normal that gods would react to something more profound than one god wishing to completely obliterate the life of a single person. This is when everything starts making a little bit of sense. Things that you've seen. When you had that piece of cloth with the unshaped symbol on it. The dream you had because of that. Of the world being nothing more than a wasteland. And seeing these huge tentacles emerging from the sky. The things that the wardens of the world are saying, these little creatures, that it feels like they're trying to repair something cracking around the world, but they can't see where the origin is. So they're stuck in this defensive position. And then there's other things that your friends told you. This god that was scared. And because of that, Fisher was traumatized because he was repeatedly decapitated. And why are they there? Why do they keep appearing everywhere you go? These people with the unshaped symbols. For you, a druid, because most of your life is about looking at the bigger picture for balance. You'd be more interested in that. Because if there is something so big that gods are starting to fear it, that is, without a doubt, something you should look into. But of course, as you think about this, inside of your dreams you hear this voice, which feels familiar, annoyingly familiar, in the worst of sense. I can help you make sense of it. The last time you heard that voice, it was the hunter god trying to tempt you into joining him.
Uh-oh.
The landscape around you is completely dark. You just feel this slight breeze, and you know there is something moving in the shadows. I can help you make sense of it. All you have to do is take my hand.
Mm-mm. I will not.
Are you letting fear decide for you?
I can't trust you.
But I have been nothing but honest.
Yeah, but I don't know how am I supposed to believe that? If
Have I lied? Even once?
not that I can think of, but that doesn't mean you'll lie now. You won't lie now.
Hmm.
You've been we've been fighting your followers for so long.
One cannot blame children for their ignorance. Why don't you let me enlighten you?
What does that entail?
Nothing much. Let me in. That is all.
I don't want you in me.
All you have to do is open your heart, your faith, to the truth. You need
And
more to face what is coming, and I can offer that to you. Free
what
of the burden of what your teachers have told you was the truth.
and what is your truth?
The only one. You need more power. You are not ready. I am building something. I will be the hunter, not the other way around.
No, we don't need more hunters.
Then fear it is.
It is not fear. If I was afraid, I would beg for power. But I'm not afraid. I know the true power. I'm not going to say something like is friendship, but you know.
Oh man, that went from serious to really.
I don't rely on only my own power to get me through situations.
Of course you don't. You rely on those greater than you.
I rely on those around me.
Is that so? Then where does your power come from?
My power comes from nature and the balance.
A balance which is keeping you from gaining the necessary power and knowledge to survive what is happening. But if you want to let fear decide your fate, then so be it.
I think I have said all I need to say to you.
So much potential wasted. And you feel the presence disappear.
Ooh.
You wake up next morning with that encounter still in your body.
Am I the first to awaken?
Pretty early in the morning. Yeah, you can.
I want to go bang on audience's door.
Yeah.
I was visited by the hunter god.
Oh. What did he say?
He was offering me power and knowledge. There's a great force that will break into our world, I fear, and he was offering me power as a solution to that.
I see. That does make me think that maybe the hunter god and the eyes of the abyss maybe aren't working together. If he's trying to help you out or gain, maybe. Or maybe right now he's the pawn, but he's trying to find a way to break out of it. I don't know.
He was. I don't know. I should have asked what was in it for him. I was panicking a little bit.
No, that's fair. Being visited by gods can be stressful. I should know.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody can be me.
Yeah, not everyone can be mean, guys. Come on, not everyone can just insult a god when they come to them and create problems for like thousands of years for everybody. No.
We'll see. I don't know if we're out of it with the hunter god.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's still definitely our enemy. I just think that there may be greater powers at play than even him.
Yeah, he wanted me to let him in. I don't know if...
Probably for you, audience, it speaks more when he says let you in, because it's how godly power works. It's how you worship. Every time you cast a spell, even your divine smite, you essentially call out the name of your god in one way or another.
Well, he's probably not wrong. If you had let him in, you probably would have gained some power from him. But I'm sure it would have also given him some kind of hold on you, which...
That's what I feared.
It's not
I can't
necessarily
imagine
definitely
he's
a risk.
giving up any power to me. The power would come from some control from him. Well, I turned him down.
Good. I think that was a wise decision. Although, perhaps there is some way in the future we could look to perhaps turn the hunter god and the eyes of the beast on each other. But we don't, I think, have the information for that yet. Or the knowledge of how to do it.
We know we have an option open.
Yeah.
That offer may yet be open.
In May. We'll see how desperate he gets. You turned him down, so I'm sure. So I'm sure he feels... God sometimes can feel a little insulted when their offers get turned down, so he may not appear to you again. My guess is he'll probably appear before you again when it is most advantageous for him. So we're in desperate need of his help. But so just be ready or be aware of that perhaps in your most desperate moment he may come calling again.
That is good to know. Yes. Well,
Yeah, we'll have tough decisions ahead of us. This is far from over. We won a great victory the other day, but
it
still
makes me
many-
wonder if the hunter god is afraid of what's coming.
I believe he is, because from what at least we've discovered of the hunter god is he would like control and he'd like the world to be filled with hunters. But if the world just doesn't exist or is taken over, then all the gods of this world will basically be wiped out and have no power. So
Yeah.
it's not
Also-
advantageous for him to.
If the world is full of hunters, who's the hunted?
I think whoever they choose.
Hmm. Interesting.
Would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Well,
There would be, I mean, you're the nature guy. I'm sure there'd be a hierarchy. There'd be those on the
Yeah.
top who would be the hunters and probably followers of him, and there'd be those on the bottom or the ones hunted. There'd be the prey and the hunters.
yeah.
But that's still a form of order, where I think the Eyes of the Abyss is far more just chaos and utter, destruction.
Destruction.
The Abyss
Yeah.
does give a reference to a place where everything goes mad at some point.
Yeah.
Eek.
So, while the hunter god may be trying to use the Abyss, or the Abyss use each other to perhaps help his awakening, I assume that the end game for the hunter god is not to remain in alliance, and maybe he sees a way through you to break that. I don't know. So,
Mm,
keep your eyes open.
well,
We'll see. All right. I guess let's go. Before we leave, I just want to check in with the guy who was tracking the ship that got annoyed with me, but his ritual should be over now. And see if he figured out anything, and then probably head back to the garden because I have some research and stuff I need to do. And also, I think Toby wants to get going on his thing. So.
mhm.
Just so to,
he
ju-
looks
just to
pretty
give an
swaddled in
impression
it.
that he's there, Tobiashi would probably have been able to answer you what would a world with only Hunter look like, because it's probably going to look like the island on which he was, which is simply everyone hunts one another. If you're not the hunter, then you're the hunted, and if the hunter hunting you is not powerful enough, then he's just another one that is hunted. It is simply a question of pure raw strength, whether it be magical strength or martial strength.
Mhm.
But it becomes a place where you get something by taking it from the dead corpse of those you beat.
Sounds kind of exciting. No, I'm kidding.
Sounds like chaos. A world of carnivores.
Yeah.
I am actually a little surprised the Hunter cult hasn't tried to recruit more Dragonborn. It's not the same, but there's a certain elements of it that is similar to our society or culture.
Mm-hmm.
Unless maybe they have through my religion. I don't actually say that.
Well, there is something harder to recruit Dragonborns because they are inherently good and they
Yeah.
have that desire of living in a community, always working for the community. That would go a little bit against the idea of only the strongest leads.
Only the strongest, yeah. There would be only the strongest, but there'd be a sense of community with the strongest, which doesn't exist. Seems like.
But just like any other species, no matter where they are, there are always lone ones those who lost their tribe, those who have been banished by their tribe, and they would, of course, make prime target for someone who promises the necessary strength to stand on your own. So yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna, I guess, go wake up everybody and then go try and find the guy with the ship. Or who was tracking the ship.
Yeah. Well, honestly, waking up everyone, Jorg is in the room, Fisher, you know where he was. Unless you want to have talk to Terry or Terranad about something during the night, they just find you where they left you in one room, standing, looking at the door.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I wouldn't. Like, we don't need to actually do it. But base, just,
Okay.
you know, way to go, team. You gotta reinforce or congratulate the behavior you would like to see, right? So.
Well, yeah, that
Positive reinforcement.
exactly. It usually works better than negative ones. Yeah. Especially with kids, they like pleasing their parents. It's even when they're older, they don't want to admit it, but they do. This is why teenagers are always angry with their parents. Well, many of them anyway. Terry does thank you for the encouragement. He is sorry he couldn't do more because everything he has is... Well, he doesn't have a lot of things to take care of groups. He's going to have to think about it. You've seen people wield heat-based explosive magic. Maybe he can do something with this.
And if only there was a way to rain fire from down high.
Well, it's a little bit above his level, but...
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, conceiving something.
Like, if only there was a way to, bring down flaming swords. Anyway.
Create a high-level fireball. I wonder if that exists.
Yeah. Well, what our party is always seems to be in need of is ways to deal with lots of combatants at the same time. We're very good against a single combatant.
Oh, yeah. But the last one was pretty big. And he gives you a small image of the ship.
Yeah.
Which you sort of have a moment of, oh yeah, from his point of view, that does look like a single monster, huh? That's a pretty big monster. So...
I guess, yeah.
he sort of has this moment of, which did you feel would be the most appropriate? Do I need to find a way to deal with that monster or a whole bunch of smaller monsters?
I'm gonna stay with a whole bunch of smaller monsters, I think, because that's not really one big monster. It is, that was a container full of a bunch of smaller monsters.
That's how everyone finds you, trying to explain to Terry what a ship is. So everyone gets to you. come on, Fisher, we're gonna go. Do you know where Tobiash and Remy are? No, not really. You start looking for them. You're just about to use your orb to call them. And suddenly you see Remy leaving a bathroom. He's all wet.
Well,
Remy,
Yeah,
did you take an early shower?
Ponders that for a moment. And then like
what's a
makes
shower?
and takes a and like it makes like the twirly motion.
Keep going. Was it a bath?
Shakes his head. It's
Well, that would be more of a... I think.
actually wait. Now I'm actually trying to remember now. Does the garden have shower? Has showers been a thing, or we have all been taking baths?
In the garden, yes, of course, showers can exist, but not in the monastery. It was probably a very amazing thing for you. What is that thing?
I thought our orb could like give us showers or something.
No,
You can
inside of the
Give us a
garden.
game.
prestidigitation to magically clean.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
It
audience
can
just
clean
pictured
our
that as-
rooms.
Audience maybe pictured that as a shower.
It's a shower of sparkles. Magic
It's like you see,
sparkles.
audience
You could
never
put the
actually used it,
decanter
so he doesn't know what it actually looks like.
Audience is just spitballing here. Why Roman can be wet? Okay, he doesn't.
Mhm.
No, but the
like,
concept
You
of
can't just
the room.
ask someone why they're wet.
Why? I'm a dragonborn.
Well,
It's like Raimi's about to like look, opening his beak, raising a finger, closes his beak, puts the finger down.
Anyway, do you know where Toby is?
you see him just walk out of the same bathroom that Remy just walked out of, and he's wet also.
Oh,
Oh
good. You guys both
my.
cleaned up for the day. All right. That's good after a long battle.
Yes, that is also true.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Cool.
Because that
Alright, I'm
stream
gonna
did
go
end
try-
with a battle. Oh yeah, that's right. As you also notice, as Remy says this and he starts moving away, his back is all scratched up. You know, there's not a lot of feathers left there.
God, fits of passion at night are always so different.
He must have been having a nightmare.
Yeah.
And Jorg says that out loud. Remy turns around.
Like a Jorg. It's like Raimi looks into your direction, then points one of his talons behind you.
I'll turn around.
It's like you see a monstrous cat figure immediately in front of your face.
The cats of the that you faced.
Yes.
You see as big as an illusion as Remy can do. I think it's 5 foot tall, but suspended in midair.
Essentially.
Okay. Of a stuffed bobcat puppet with one
To
ear
be super
missing.
clear, the monstrous version of it. It's like
Yeah.
the version that grew.
Yeah. No, the real one. Actually, this is where you see this monstrous thing in the middle of a jump. with claws open and its mouth open, and there's this sense of terror emanating from it with the shadows all around it. You can barely see it, but you see the eyes really clearly. And you can just see on your peripheral vision as the illusion curves like this. You see the claws right next to your head. One ear is completely chewed off. One eye is a button that's been sewn and broken again and sewn. There are tears all over the body of this thing. You had them
Oh God, what is that?
I mean, are you trying to recreate Cuddles? Or what was his name?
It was Cuddles.
Oh my
Check out Dork. You
God.
turn back around and Raimi is gone.
But just to make sure that
I'll
the nightmare is
lean-
even worse, you
You
see
got him.
in Tobiashi's backpack a smaller version of that cat.
They're trying to recreate Cuddles, guys.
But the thing is, Jorg, you can swear you saw the cat blinking.
Oh my God.
I miss Cuddles.
Maybe he's with us right now.
I don't think so.
But do
But-
you know so?
No. I miss Sachet.
Hmm.
Oh well. Okay, let's go. Let's go find the guy.
I think I know why they were wet, audience.
Why were they waiting?
You know how they're married?
Yeah.
I think that's why they're wet.
Because they're married?
Yeah, that's what
know
happens
what
when
you
you get
do?
married. You instantaneously get wet.
You
remember.
consummate the marriage.
With water? That's not what my dad told me.
Well, either that or
Yeah.
Tobiashi has a really big one.
What?
And everyone stays there looking awkwardly at Jorg.
Anyways, let's do what we're gonna do now.
Sorry, your message got me. Okay.
Oh, it's a good thing you wrote that in there and not on the chat.
Alright, I'm gonna go find this guy about the ship.
You have audience walking down the corridors trying to find the guy with that idea in his mind.
Alright. I guess I'd ask where his room was. So I
Yeah,
can go find
that's probably better than going through all of the rooms one after the other. It takes a little time, but not too much. You know, it's not a huge place. It's not the garden. It's the monastery where Tobiashi grew up. It's considerably smaller than the garden. Maybe 10 minutes after you start wandering around and asking questions, someone brings you to a very messy library. Lots of books have been piled on one side, scrolls opened, and then you find the garden's most prominent sorcerer, along with the garden's wealthiest sorcerer. Because I didn't give the side note, but Remy, having been in the poaching business and having seen the bit of the underbelly of the world, when the Nirsa said her full name, of course you know that family name. she's not a noble. She's just the daughter of one of the wealthiest merchants this world has. There are kingdoms with less people than the army her father can muster inside of a day. She is, well, her father is insanely rich. It's difficult to do business without ever hearing her father's name at least once. But she never boasted about it in the garden. So maybe she's not in the best of terms with her family. Or she just doesn't want to be known as, oh yeah, you're the daughter of... Oh, god damn it.
The elongated muskrat.
But she is ridiculously rich.
The real question is, why is she an adventurer then? Okay.
She could have her own fleet of ships, probably very easily, and adventure the world with that. But she chooses to be a simple adventurer, making her own name by her own means.
I should ask her about getting,
Support
what was
that.
it, like 500,000 geode or whatever?
It was one, but worth.
100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, so you can get me a 100,000 geode real quick? Good of the world and all that, you know? Nah. But we won't lead with that. I don't know her that well yet.
So, well, it's more if Remy doesn't say anything, you don't have really a way to know how powerful she
No.
actually is.
Well, I know she's powerful because she's a powerful
Yeah.
mage. I don't know that she's wealthy.
Well, you know that because of the almost a year you weren't in the garden, you are at the bottom of the ladder. So she's at least a level 11 wizard, which is more than 90% of the wizards in the world. So right there, you have part of the answer. She really is one of the most powerful wizards of the world. Just because of her level.
Yep. Anyway, I'm not here to talk to her, though. So, did you find the ship?
Well, annoyingly, yes and no. I can't pinpoint it, which means they teleported to a shielded area. And not a small one. But I can tell you it was not a long-range teleportation. They are still inside of the island chain.
Just outside the island chain. Okay. If you had a general sense, how far was Toby's island from where we are? Because we knew it from we figured it out where it was from the dream.
Where he was...
Yeah, where he was held. Like, would that be considered a long-range teleport or no?
No, that would be a short-range teleportation. It's still within the
Okay.
boundaries of this island chain. It's
Okay,
right
still.
there at the edge of where the sea begins, but it's still inside of the island chain.
Okay. I would say my guess would be, although I don't want to make full assumptions, but my guess would be that they teleported back to the prisoner island where Toby was captured and held. If it's a large shielded area. It's good to know that it's shielded, though. Perhaps that would give us information, meaning we couldn't teleport to it or use teleportation to reach it.
Well, if you can give me more information about where this could be, it would take a little bit of time, but I might be able to devise a way to not divine where it is. An absence
Sure.
of something is
Red-
something.
Let's see, Remy, you can make... Remy, are you gone or are you still with us? Did you end up following us or no?
I think Remy would have reappeared.
Okay. Remy, do you want to show from the dream and kind of like explain where it is in general? Or Toby, you can explain kind of where it is, and Remy, you can show an image.
So with the two of you, Remy giving visual aid and Toby actually describing as much as he can. Size of the island, the kind of vegetation there is in, and Remy with the image that you saw inside of the dream. Right. Well, at least it narrows the possibilities. I will concentrate my effort into that quadrant of the island chain. So close to the edge. Might be able to hasten that a little bit. I'll do what I can. I'll let you know when I find something. Don't go too
Appreciate
far. It might only take a few weeks.
Okay, we'll try not to go too far.
Disappear for a year.
Yeah. Try. Heavy emphasis on the try.
Yes.
We are time knights after all. You never know what time may need us.
Oh yes, I've heard about that. Young species. And he goes back to his books.
I guess before I leave, I'd be like, nice job on the colored smoke shield to Dinursa. Was very effective.
Well, fortunately it was effective long enough for something to go our way. Because honestly, I wasn't sure about the plan up until the last moment. Well, I'm glad you had an idea. Maybe you're not as... Well, maybe the gnomes have a wrong idea of you.
Whoa.
I see. Are you a subscriber to GnomeTube as well? You can always use the...
Leave a
Listen.
like, leave a comment.
Yeah, as you should know, it's streaming. It's all about personality. We have to make fools a bit of ourselves to garnish the views. You might have been getting the wrong impression. It's, a bit of an act, if you know.
Don't forget, make a
That's what the
donation if you
gnomes
can. So with that incredible plug to give me the possibility of shamelessly promoting the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you can.
Yeah.
I think we'll let you leave this room, prepare to go back to the garden, unless there's one last person you want to talk to. But if there isn't, perfect time to take our break.
All right.
And remember, everyone, leave a like, leave a comment. Follow us, subscribe. Marsh sounds. All right. We will be back in 15 minutes. Bye.
Sam.
Hello, we're back. We're only missing one person. Well, additionally, I mean. That's okay. Jorg is probably ashamed of everything he said, so he's keeping quiet. He took his blanket back from Tobiashi. He needs comforting. Oh, but it's all wet now.
He doesn't have prestidigitation.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well,
Smells like wet down too.
Well, because of where it comes from, probably more like wet dirt and dead leaves.
So it smells like rain gutters.
Interesting. Such a revivifying scent. All right. Well, now the only question you have is, do you walk to the closest portal, or do you want to take an emergency transport back to the garden?
I mean, can't we
They're
just
gonna
transport it
get
back to the
mad at
garden?
us if we emergency transfer back to the guard.
Isn't it green?
Oh, yes, but it remains an emergency transportation method.
Yeah, we're not so because they have to transport us. We're not supposed to. You just use it.
Isn't my time an emergency?
No.
The world could be ending any day, Fisher. The faster we do things, isn't everything an emergency?
So I'm hearing that you're that kind of player that when he plays a colony Sims, he puts everything on super high priority.
Listen, I'm just saying. What are the other adventurers doing? Are any of them teleporting back, or are they all walking to the nearest teleporter?
Some of them are walking back. You don't know for all of them. Of course, the two wizards. Well, one stays here. The other one teleports out. Some of them seems to be using their own method of transportation.
Wait, I got a helm of teleportation. What am I talking about? Why do we
What are
walk
you
to
talking about?
teleporters?
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. Why is this even a conversation?
Well, I don't know. I just suggested it, and you seem to be enjoying the conversation. So,
No, we're just teleporting back, guys. Come on, group up,
all right.
get in close. Let's cuddle.
Alright.
But they're all wet. So, where do you want to teleport?
To the garden.
I don't know if.
Actually, I don't know if they have blocks against teleportation.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna teleport to the teleporter to take us to the garden. I'm gonna be smarter about this.
There we go. That's
They
better,
have
yeah.
a portal in nearly in every major human city in the garden that you can confirm. You think they might even have some in major elven cities. So, which city do you want to teleport to?
Oh, what's the nearest city?
The one on the island, the one that you took the boat to from originally. Hold on, I'm just gonna zoom in a little. Beltrod.
Actually, I guess it's literally just better I pick a teleporter we've been to, because then there's like zero chance of. Yeah, no. So I'll just pick the teleporter at the northern city, because distance actually isn't an issue. Because we've literally been to that teleporter, so I know the area.
So the one that you know the most is Otanel. 'Cause
Yeah,
you've used
so
it.
I'll just teleport. I'm just going to teleport to the teleporter at Othanel.
Actually, there are two teleporters that you know well. There's Otanel and there's Groshill. You haven't been there a long time, but it's there.
I'm just going to go to Othanel.
Okay.
It's fine.
The commercial heart of this island chain.
Just
All right.
for the 2 seconds. Go to the turn.
concentrate, activate the helm. You hold hands. Who has the held hands with Remy and Tobiyashi? And make your roll.
Oh, sure.
You know it can't hurt because you know exactly where you're
Yeah.
teleporting, but
It's 36. It's over it's fine.
all right.
This is close though.
I mean, it's not a good roll on a D100, but it's fine for this case.
Oh, I was thinking that was a D20, but yeah.
No.
No, it's a D100. So you teleport, and right where you always thought you should teleport, you reappear. You have Arunak's desiccated husk pointing in your direction when you teleport back. You sort of remember, oh yeah, that's right. We put that so we'd always remember where the
Where the portal was.
Where the portal was.
yeah. Then you remember that they had to change the point to teleport because someone put something in at the entrance of the old teleportation point.
Oh shit.
Fortunately, it's not long. You only have to walk 15 minutes and you're going to be there.
Yeah, we'll just walk.
Maybe minor illusions, a curtain over the desiccated corpse. Because I don't think we unsummoned Ornak.
Ah, that's nice. I appreciate the effort, Remy. I wonder. He turns toward audience. I wonder who put me there.
I actually don't think it was me.
No, I don't think it was.
Was it?
I think it was Tobiyashi.
The audience. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think it was me on this one.
But usually it is.
Is that what Ornak says? It's just like, usually it is.
No, that's the dungeon master saying that usually it is.
Oh. No, this one wasn't me. I'll be like, listen, I'm not at fault for this one. It wasn't my idea.
Yeah. You didn't take it away either.
I mean, do you want me to? It was a useful signal.
Yeah, so useful that everyone started to wait for people in ambush, wait for members of the garden in ambush.
Yeah, I didn't say who it was useful for.
Oh, yes. Perspective, yes.
All right, let's go. Let's take our walk.
It's not too long, like I said,
Yeah.
15 minutes and you're there. You teleport back into the garden. Ah, this familiar place. Filled with psychotic gnomes. Suddenly, you don't feel all that safe. But you are inside of the garden. You reappear in one of the teleportation point that's near one of your where your quarters are. Not a lot of people right now. Well, to be fair, more than half of the adventurers were out helping you, so it's a bit understandable that a lot of people are missing right now. They all went back to their own adventures. Some stayed because they were still drunk from the previous night.
Yeah.
So mostly around you, you see wardens, you see gnomes, few dwarves, few half-elves.
All right. Before Toby takes us on this other side quest, I need to go send some letters, guys. See ya.
I need to go right. Okay. Awkwardness says, I think I want to go see. I didn't know he could write.
Nope, these are private letters. You can't see them.
Oh, right. Private letters.
Yeah, I'm plotting the downfall of the party. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that kind of private. I thought you meant
Yeah.
lady private. Alright.
No.
I'm more interested in that.
I'm continuing my plan as a secret infiltrator for enemy organizations. Let me go do my thing.
You know, I kind of expected it. You look like someone who would do that.
Does it count as infiltrating if you're the one who started it?
That's why they'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I'm just in Mindis in front of the whole party makes it pretty clear that it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ogunax
I mean-
is starting to know you well enough.
I'm just saying that, like if you create your own nation with its own government and then you immediately secede yourself to, it's like the power of a neighboring country. It's like it's quite the inside job.
I'm a double agent. For who? I don't know that part. I just know that I'm a double agent.
It just sounds cool, okay?
So, audience goes writing. What does the rest of you want to do inside of the garden? Back into all of this magic, this. Well, you were in the monastery just a few minutes ago. About half an hour ago. So there's sort of that moment of, whew, it's like going from a cabin in the wood to, I don't know, a loft in the middle of the city. It's kind of a drastic change. And then you hear Gnome screaming, "It's chasing me! It's chasing me!" And you just see a ball rolling behind it, following it.
I don't know how any of them are still alive.
Because resurrection magic exists.
Oh.
Probably written into their union contract somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They owe 99 resurrection when they sign.
Yeah. It's in their benefits. Resurrection insurance.
That's why they pay so much. How do they pay exactly? Who knows? Alright. So, what do you do? I'd expect that Tobiashi would probably immediately try and reach out to Sarn. When he is available to help you all on his side quest. So that's what Tobiashi does. Audience goes writing letters. Jorg, Remy, and Fisher.
I mean, I know one of Ramey's things.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a very nice feather.
Alright, so Remy goes to the commercial quarter.
So, everyone just imagine if they ever seen like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Which one?
We see, just to be super clear, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the first one, or
Okay,
like the first
okay.
film that came out. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the one that came out after.
All right.
Notice
I
the
didn't know there was a
difference.
distinction.
I know more the first one. I've only seen the second one twice, but the first one, I think it played nearly every year when I was a child, so I saw it a lot. All right, so Remy goes to the commercial quarter. Fisher and Jorg?
I don't know what I need to do.
Just ask the
didn't know
gnome.
we were-
He'll find something for you.
Anyway, maybe drags Tobiyashi along.
Here, come. We're officially together now. You have to always be with me. I don't know. It feels like a very couple dynamic, except that it sounds like we have two females. Because Remy is going shopping and Tobiyashi is spending time on the phone while being dragged by Remy, who wants to go shopping. I feel like it's what women do, not a guy and women. So
That's what girls do. They keep you guessing the whole way through.
I don't know. The situation feels weird. We have a gay lesbian couple. They're both at the same time. All right.
I don't know. I'd probably go freaking see what the gnomes are up to.
Yeah. I can go with you.
That's gonna be interesting. All right. You want to go see what the gnomes are up to. So essentially, everyone goes in one direction, and the audience just goes alone to your room or a special place to write. The tavern.
I was gonna go to the library actually because I had to
okay.
do research as well.
Okay. Research on what?
I know it's a really weird time for audience.
That's why Orinak wants to follow you. You're doing stuff that are weird for you.
As I said, I'm infiltrating. I'm showing my true self as a high-level warlock this whole time.
Yeah.
He looks at you and says, I sort of knew it. So what you're saying is that you're a tool for a greater being. Yeah.
I don't know, I think that's been established.
Yeah.
Way.
No, not by Arunak. It's Terranad. You can't hear what Terranad is saying. So what are you researching exactly?
Oh, I was researching the Eyes of the Abyss so I can get more information on it.
Okay. You can make an investigation roll if you want assistance by some of the wardens. You can make it with advantage.
Sure.
It's going to take a little bit more time because they're more busy. But
I would have them assist me.
Oh.
I don't. Actually, I'd basically tell them to come just find books for me. It's a 12. I'd be like, listen, honestly, just go get books that you think would be useful to me.
then the warden looks at you and says, yes, we need more information than just that. What's the subject?
The Eyes of the Abyss, man. You know, like who he is, what he's up to, his plans for me specifically.
And you feel an adventurer would have brought back that kind of information?
I don't know, man. I'm just asking for a little help here.
I guess it shows why you rolled a 12. All right, so while you try and do this, I'm gonna think.
He
about-
negotiated with the worms to let me in the back rooms with all their.
Yeah.
So can I get into your back? Can I get into your back rooms? I need the good shit, man. What do you think? Thoughts?
You have a warden that looks at you for a brief moment.
24 on persuasion.
The back room, short of a natural 20, I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Yeah. What if I said the fate of this world was at stake?
He would say, "Oh, yeah, that was kind of research." It doesn't seem to faze him much. It's either not the first time he hears that, or he doesn't believe you. You're not sure which one.
Okay. Fine. Just go find me what you can.
All right, follow me.
No. I'll be here writing letters.
Yes. Cause,
Just bring by whatever books you think will be useful.
Because so far we've always just done what you asked, and you didn't get involved. You know we can only assist you. We can't do things for you.
I know. I'm asking you to assist me by finding me some research that adventurers have brought.
Yes, then come along.
Ah.
Damn machines. So, he has you following him. He does take a few liberties from time to time, suggesting something. You know, I had that moment of, well, you know, eyes. Maybe we should look into eyes. And he just looks at you as, no, that's not how it works.
No, you can't only take picture books. There has to be words.
It takes a little bit of time. As he said, he can only give you information. He can only give you information that adventurers have brought back, because it's things about your world. The way it's organized, however, does give you the impression that it may not be a god unique to your world, but not necessarily extremely well known. Or they're just really good at classifying things like this. It's a bit hard to tell. There's honestly not a lot of information, and you quickly understand why. Some gods gather followers like entrepreneurs try to make new businesses. They manifest themselves under a name. They build their church. They build their following. They get mad at another god. They go into war with another god. Their follower gets killed. And they go into a period of dormancy. And then they start a new business under a new name with new followers 500 years later. So, all of the information you have only goes back about 200 or 300 years. there are brief mentions of this name coming from the fact that every time someone sees this god, it is always two eyes peering from the dark. So some hints are there that it is older than just 200 or 300 years, which you already know because you met it 1,500 years ago. But its history is so full of holes that it's difficult figuring out everything it did. You're missing 200 years after what happened in Baranor. Then suddenly it reappears, and for about 150 years it gathers followers, then enters into conflict with another god, and then information disappears. It comes back 100 years later with a different name. Still the symbol of the eye of the abyss, the two eyes in the darkness, so eyes of the abyss. And again, a new name that the followers refer to it as that. But after maybe 3 or 4 hours of pouring through books, you haven't learned a lot from it, except now you have half a dozen different names for this entity.
I'll write down the half dozen different names and the other gods it's had conflicts with, and then save those to bring to the rest of the party and those who can maybe decipher more than me.
The warden tells you maybe that information would be better spent with someone who is well versed in research in your own world. We can only give you the things that has been brought back to us.
We could send it to the Silver Bard, I guess.
There you go then. You seem to have someone on the outside. I'm sure there are other avenues that you can take, but of course. Do you need anything else?
I'm looking at him, trying to think of some dumb request to ask for. Could I have a hot chocolate?
I'll ask the
Thanks, I
tavern
appreciate
to have one delivered.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Anything else?
No, I'll let you know.
Very well. And he walks away. About 25 minutes later, there's a gnome that arrives, that enters into the library and just screams, "Is audience in the air?"
Yep, audience screams back across the library.
All right. Just keep screaming. I can't see you right now. I'm going to figure out where you are with your voice.
Audience obliges.
It takes 2 or 3 minutes. And the
Audience is gonna get banned from the library after this.
and the gnomes find you. Have to...
I hope there's no other high-level adventurers in here that absolutely hate audience right now.
Well, you know. Who could be in the library right now? Anyone that could possibly want to be there at this time.
Audience is just writing his letters anyway.
Oh yeah, you got a halfling that all the while you are doing this, he has a book in front of him, a large black tome. And every time you just say, I'm over here, you just see him go.
did you know? I'll see him looking annoyed. I'll be like, do you know they got takeout for the library? That's the best library I've ever been in. No quiet rules. They got takeout. This place is awesome.
You're twisting his arm. There you are. Oh, not even a save? Okay. As you're there, just harassing him. You know, they have takeout. Are you there? I can't hear you anymore. And you just starts yelling again, I'm over here. And then eventually, when you see the gnome arriving on the same floor, you're just about to go, I'm here. And then it goes, you take a book, you let it fall on the floor, it doesn't make any sound. You look at the gnome, he just goes. Another gnome, the halfling.
Yeah.
The gnome arrives and looks around. Yes.
I'll get up and grab my hot chocolate.
So you're inside of a silence spell.
I know what it is. Audience knows what it is. He's amused that he got a reaction.
So for your information, you had never talked to him before. He's a halfling. He's called Uther Terraven. You think he's a warlock.
Audience making fast friends.
The question is, do you stay in this sphere of silence?
I mean, I'm just writing a letter. I can.
Okay. All right. Now the other side of the group. Remy, you separate yourself from Jorg and Fisher. You go with Tobiashi, who's apparently finished his call. You know, it's kind of a long walk. Probably finished while you were walking through the arboretum. Or if you all went in the same direction and then the audience stayed there and you kept on going. Sort of make a train where you leave people all the way through where you want to go. Finish said that Sarn is apparently not far off. Tomorrow, you could all start on this little side quest that he has of finding a nature-blessed branch. So most likely something coming from a grove. Well, you know, for you, Jorg, it's kind of nice. You're going to be visiting a grove with a very powerful druid. I mean, kind of feels like a quest you should have had, but when you think about it, yeah, he wants that branch to tame a demon spider. It's not a quest you would have had.
Maybe I should come with him, actually.
Well, that's really up to you. You can follow Remy and Tobiashi to the store and leave poor Fisher alone with the gnomes.
Yeah, hey Fisher, sorry. This guy's a druid and not gnomes, so that's two good reasons to go there.
So, Fisher, you're abandoned.
You know, I can't fault you for that. That's some solid logic right there.
All right. Well, in that case, since you are the one alone, we'll do you. So, Fisher, what do you do once you reach the development floor? Of course, you're
Uh,
greeted by a gnome. Very
mhm.
nice lady gnome.
Fisher's not looking for. I think he's just like, it's been a while since
He just wants to soak in.
he just wants to see what they've been up to. What promising projects they have, anything experimental that they need tested.
But of course, you look around and it's an entire floor of gnomes doing everything they can with everything they can find. You see tables with crystals on it, with minerals, with a whole bunch of scrolls. You see. Actually, you're not sure how to qualify it. It looks like a fish made of crystal floating in midair.
Okay.
As you're watching this thing, you also hear. You look behind and you see this multi legged, somewhere between a spider and a crab, mechanical in nature, just moving behind you and just. You see a gnome going. First try! And you hear a gnome who says, "You're missing a 0 on that one! Still 1! Still a 1!" There's a gnome right next to you says, "The first 5 one blew up. We still haven't found where the pilot where the pilot of the first one was. We think he's another dimension."
Do you know where the pilots of the other 4 are?
Well, he's the pilot of the 5th one. He survived. That's a go. That's good.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
Improvement.
The second one is retired. Don't worry.
You guys retire?
Um. Well, yes and no. Um. Let's just call it early retirement. It's not because he wanted to. It's because he didn't have a choice.
Gravely disabled?
You could say that.
Okay.
We hope it's not permanent. But even that, we'll see.
What's it supposed to do?
It's a mechanical way of moving around. What do you mean what it's supposed to do? It's supposed to move around and it's supposed to be made of parts and clockwork and magic.
And that... How... Okay. Is it supposed to... It's just for transport?
Does it have to?
Well, I'm wondering where going to another dimension seems like way out there for something that's just trying to move.
Well, that's because the first one imploded. The second one
Oh.
exploded.
Okay.
Well, we think it imploded because it went and it was gone.
Ah.
So maybe it's been squished to the size of a pinhead and we haven't managed to find it, or it's stuck somewhere in another dimension. And hopefully the gnome is okay.
All right.
The second one exploded, and fortunately, there was security in place. This is why he's temporarily retired. Every time he says this, he keeps looking to the left. The third one. Actually, we're not sure what happened to him. We think he became pure color.
Define that.
Well, we've seen a cloud of pure color moving about, and it changes color from time to time. Especially when you antagonize it, it becomes blue. But when you talk to it, it becomes... Oh yeah, I'm not sure you can actually make the difference between those two colors. Well, another type of blue. If you show it a person, it'll become yellow. And when it touches you, it leaves a stain on your back. We don't know why, it's always on the back. But the stain is usually the color that the cloud was when it touches you. So at least you know it's the cloud.
I look over to the left. What's he been looking at?
It looks like a stone wall.
What's that?
It's well, it's stone. It's made of it. You wouldn't know what airbags are, right?
No.
Okay.
Is it more than just an empty bag? Or not technically empty because it's got air in it?
All right, I think you got what it takes to understand the basic of it. So my cousin wanted to make something that protects a little bit more. So we made stone bags. Yep.
Protects. What do you mean protects more?
Well, you know, the idea of a bag suddenly filled with air with a small capsule inside that just go is to give a cushion to when you are thrown or something hits you. But a stone bag is better because it removes the impact by placing the stone around you.
Wait, but then wait. So how does if the airbag is helpful because it's making a cushion, the stone bag there's no cushion anymore?
No, but the stone absorbs everything, so you're completely fine.
But then no, but because energy is transferred better through stone than it is through air. So the stone doesn't absorb anything. If anything, it absorbs less. More is transferred to you.
Aha, that's what you think. Because you see, there has to be a way to transform nothing into solid. So what we do is that we transfer the kinetic energy of the hit into nothing, which suddenly solidify it and creates the stone slab of the bag. And now you're also protected from debris going in your direction. It creates a wall.
Oh, so you're not replacing the air with stone. You're using magic to somehow create. How does that work? Fisher's suddenly super interested in this. He sees a lot of potential in being able to randomly transform destructive kinetic energy into just a barrier.
So, since I don't know arcane
Yeah,
spell.
sure. He could just spend 2 hours trying to figure this out with these gnomes.
Well, it's still a prototype. That's why they think the gnome is still
do they
inside.
have anything that works? Or is this all hypothetical?
Oh, no. It works. It's exactly what happened with the second pilot. The machine exploded, and so the kinetic energy was channeled and made the reaction with the nothing matter that they found. They still haven't figured out the right name for it. It's got to be descriptive, but also slightly mysterious, because the gnome actually exactly tells you that it's gonna be it's gonna be explicit but slightly mysterious at the same time. It solidifies the air around it, encasing the person into a block of stone, which suddenly makes the person really, really resistant to debris flung at it. If you want a good example, and especially when he starts explaining the arcane elements to it, it feels like someone is explaining to you how they managed to condense a stonewall spell inside of a 7 by 7 foot cube, and it just around the person.
Okay, but then how does the person get out of that?
Well, so far right now, we have to wait until the magic wears off.
How long does that take?
We don't know yet. It's the first time we did it.
Oh, so we're just waiting for this to stop.
Yeah, that's why it's there.
somebody
There's
timing
always
it?
someone watching it, just in case.
Okay. How long's it been going?
Turns around. How long? Says in gnome. Another gnome answers. In gnomish. Oh, okay. It's been 2 days.
Okay. So in about another day and a half, he's going to die of dehydration.
Not if the spell worked. But if it didn't, yeah.
Okay. Have you guys thought about just... Wait, did it turn him into rock or just rock around him?
We won't be sure until the spell ends.
Ah, so you don't want to break it in case it is him?
Well, he's my sister's husband cousin, so would kind of become awkward around the dinner table for the next celebration.
Have you guys tried like detect thoughts or something to like talk to him in there?
Yes, we had a response, but we can't understand the language. We think it's the elemental earth language. Um, so
Oh,
one gnome went to learn it.
so what's this nothing matter? Where do you guys find it?
It's really interesting. And he starts telling you this tale about these adventurers from the garden that found this little bit of gray ooze at the bottom of a cave. But the thing is, whenever you analyze it, the ooze says that it's not there. But it's actually there. But it actually not because it doesn't have mass, but it has a visual space. So it's nothing, but it's something. This is why they call it nothing matter.
Hmm.
Oh, and there was this little weird gray shard nearby. They're not sure exactly what realm it comes from.
Shard.
As in the little bits and pieces of another realm that sometime embed
Okay,
itself in your world.
and they didn't figure out what
No, no, no.
shard that's from.
But that analysis will bear fruit in another 11 hours. If time works the same way inside of that shard, I mean.
People went in there.
Yeah, we sent the probe.
Are they alive?
We don't know. They're going to come back in 11 hours. If time moves the same way inside of there.
Okay.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, drawing the attention of evil, unknowable beings from outside this world.
A noble
Airship
endeavor?
battles.
A noble... Oh, wow, that's always fun. Who won?
We did.
Oh, that's good.
With not really any airships, but
That's even
figured it
better.
out. We had two. We lost two.
Well, that's not so bad.
Do you guys have something that we could
Yes.
stick on an airship to just kind of and then leave and have that? I mean, not really like a bomb, but maybe a bomb. Something I could like
That's
stick
an
to.
interesting concept. A bomb that is not a bomb, but that is a bomb.
Well, it doesn't have to be a bomb, but it could be a bomb. But
No, that's okay.
something
That's
we could
okay.
just
You,
drop on an airship and
you
then
have
leave,
to
and
let
then
the
it
first
could.
draft come in. Sometimes intuition is really
Uh-huh.
good. A bomb that is not a bomb, that is a bomb. I'm gonna have to talk with a few other gnomes about this. That's a really interesting concept. It has to be a bomb that it's not a bomb, but actually is a bomb. Oh, I have so many ideas.
Yeah, but something you could like put on an airship and then leave, and then have that airship either stop working in some capacity.
You want a disabling bomb.
Stop working could be, it could be disabled. It could drop out of the sky. It could explode. You know. Either go have fun with it. I don't want to limit, your guys' vision.
Yeah. That's actually interesting. A bomb that is not a bomb, that is actually a bomb, that when you fix it to the hull of a ship, it blows up the ship, but then the ship drops to the floor. So it gets to blow up, and people inside die twice for the price of a single device. It's like,
Sure.
they explode and they die, but they don't die, but they actually die. It all goes with the that's what I said. The first instinct is always interesting. A bomb that is not a bomb, that is a bomb, which does something that it doesn't do, but it actually does. That's amazing. How long do we have to do this?
I don't know. Go for it.
We will.
I don't really have any timetables, but
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, you can't let creation be hindered by such a small concept
keep working
as
on it
time.
and see what you come up with.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go right now. Can you watch the wall for me?
Yeah.
Okay. And he leaves. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how do we make something that is not something, that does something that doesn't do but actually does. And don't worry, it's gonna cost something that it doesn't cost, but it actually does. So
It's fake Monopoly money, but it actually takes real money to make, so it still ends up happening. It's like in-game currency.
Yeah. That you
you have
buy
to
with
pay
real
real
money.
money
Yeah, Draken's introducing premium currency to our campaign.
No, it's not me. It's Fisher. It's Fisher's idea.
Sorry, guys. Accidentally created microtransactions in our D&D.
D&D is gonna become a pay-to-win game.
I mean, depending on the kind of game people run, though, if like gold is like super easy to come by and you could just buy like magic items, it's like then it becomes kind of pay to win.
Don't worry, guys. It's all cosmetics. It's nothing to do with actual power. It's only cosmetics.
This is stream, by the way, so I just want to let you know when Wizards of the Coast is out here taking notes and all this, it's not our fault.
It's a good thing that you reminded everyone. Because even they're going to say that it's not what they wanted to do, but it's actually what they wanted to do, but not what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, everything else around you, they keep making stuff all the time. You see devices, weird stuff, a gnome screaming because he's being chased by something you can't see. You see a gnome walking a really dirty, grimy, algae covered, you think it's roundish shape, but it's dragging it on a leash. And apparently gnomes take turn to walk the ball.
Is it the same ball the other gnome was running from, really?
No, it's a different one.
Okay.
The other
same
one was,
vague shape? Or, like, fully different?
the size is is much smaller. but you think under all of that algae that accumulated on it, it's probably round.
Hmm.
You see potions being made on a table. You see a variety of what looks like tokens on a table.
Potions.
Because
Sorry, guys, I rolled a 2.
you have to, of course.
Impulse control is in the dumps right now.
Well, on that table, it feels like
Is it the same guy?
well, right now there's no one, but the bottle seems to be complete. There's a stopper on them. They're just there. One has a silvery liquid. One has a green. You're not sure if it's a solid or a gaseous state that is inside, but it's very thick if it's gaseous. If it's liquid, it's viscous. And then there's a third one, which is bright blue.
They're unattended?
Yep.
Is there any writing?
Nope. It looks like an alchemy station.
I'm not that.
Man, the gnomish
I'm gonna
like betting facility is on fire right now.
We just got. They literally set this up just for me. I'm going to flag down a nearby gnome and
ask what question?
what are these? Who's working on this?
I don't know. Could be anyone. The stations aren't assigned to a person. You use whichever one you need for what you're doing. Could be anyone.
Uh-huh.
Did you open them?
No,
Smell them?
they've been sitting like this.
Maybe you could smell them.
I smell one.
Which
What
one?
does it smell like? The blue one.
The blue one. It smells like you've just buried your nose in the coldest of snow you could possibly find.
Huh.
It feels like
I
you
dip a
can
finger
feel
in
the
it.
snowflake melting in your nose.
I dip a finger in it.
It's viciously cold. It feels like it burned the tip of your finger when you just damn, but it's cold.
Huh.
It's cold that burns.
I'm not gonna drink that. uh, uh, I
I'm also hearing gnomes in a room somewhere saying, I want to increase my bet to 10 gold. I'm increasing mine to 25. He's going to take it. No, he's not going to take it. He's going to take the black one. I know he's going to... Which black one? There's no black one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Is the maybe gas, maybe liquid one, does that have a lid? Or is it just sitting in an open? It does?
Yeah.
All right.
A small cork stopper.
Is it heavy in that it rests in the bottom, or is it like... Does it seem like if I popped it off, it might just come out?
It's difficult to say because it's completely filled. There's no space. It's just that when you move it like this, the way that it moves, it's hard to tell if it's solid or liquid. If it's liquid, it's probably something that has a viscosity similar to oil mixed with so much so much green glitter that it looks like a paste moving about inside. If it's gaseous, then it's a gas that is so thick you're probably convinced that you're gonna have to turn it around so that it falls.
Mm-hmm. It's so tempting, but I'm not just gonna take some dude's stuff.
Without paying for it.
Well, yeah, but you can't pay for it if there's nobody there.
Just leave an IOU, say, take out of my garden account.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, a lot of gnomes are perfectly okay with you trying their experiment so long as you come back and tell them the result. At least that's your experience so far.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. So there's the cold one, the
weird state one.
The weird one, and what was the other one again?
Silver. It's a silver liquid. Honestly, if you were in a normal alchemy laboratory, you might say maybe it's a bottle full of mercury. But knowing where you are right now, it's probably not.
I'm gonna stick my finger in that one.
This one you have to unscrew the stopper. So you unscrew it, and you lift it out slightly. You put a different finger in. When you pull it, it follows your finger. It's like it's not warm, but it has the consistency of an extremely sticky melted cheese. So it just follows your finger, and it just arcs like this when it goes too far. You can keep extending it, or you can just try to put it back in.
Yeah, I guess wipe my finger off on the edge of the try and get it off.
The moment you rub your finger off, well, first of all, you try and put it back in like this and then rub it, or you just let it dangle like this and rub it off.
I try and put it back in and rub it.
It goes in fairly easily. It's sort of weird. It just seems to want to just go back in. In modern term, it feels and look like a long chain polymer. That's how it responds to movement. When you try and it just goes back in the moment you let it. You try and so you have that thought that comes into your mind. What happened if I just take and you pull it off like this and you remove it from your finger there? Is it just gonna like a spaghetti getting out of something? Or do you resist that intrusive thought?
No. No, I can't.
You can't resist that intrusive thought.
No.
Well, there's a reason why that intrusive thought pushed itself inside of your mind, because the moment you do this, it just goes, it falls on the ground and it's long. And you hear this small voice in your mind saying, Humphrey. And you start seeing it slither away.
I try and scoop it back up. Go, oh shit.
Make a dexterity roll.
Dude.
It's so weird. You try and grab it, it just spills out, it comes out, it moves in a different direction, it seems to pull itself as it's stumbling forward. It's so weird. Eventually you try and chase it and it moves under a desk. You'd have to move an entire huge desk, which you would draw a lot of attention if you did. But you think it's still under there.
Is there anything important looking on top of the desk?
Gnomish stuff. It doesn't look...
Or is it just...
It's just...
social conventions that's preventing me from moving this desk?
It's just that it wouldn't be discreet. Think of a tool drawer.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, yeah, I'm, yeah, I'm gonna move it.
You push it aside and it makes so much noise. There's some little metallic bits falling off and drawing a lot of attention, and you suddenly realize that a lot of gnomes are looking in your direction. No one's saying anything. They're just looking in your direction. You manage to move it, and at some point you hear ah! And it starts trying to move again. You're just seeing starting to move, pulling itself. You hear this little voice in your head, leave me alone, I didn't do anything.
Just get back in the jar.
I don't want.
Why not?
Make a persuasion roll.
No way. That is a 16.
Wow. All right. It's slithering away, and when you ask why, it stops. I don't know. I just don't want to go back in. It's too tight. But I don't know why.
Do you want a bigger jar? What if I don't put the lid on?
I've never tried that.
How about what are you?
I am. And you hear a word in your mind that have no
Doesn't make
clue
any
what-
sense.
No. It
Yeah,
your
it's
mind
no.
tries to translate it, and it comes out as soft, squishy silver liquid, along with two expressions that your mind just can't deal with it. It's sort of soft, squishy, silvery, quid.
All right. A sentient metal slime. Cool. I'll look in this tool bench and see if I can find a bigger container.
Make an investigation roll.
Oh my god. 12.
You find something.
All right.
Large metal container. Sort of has a huge screw-on lid that's tied with. Why won't the word come out? What doors are? What you do? What you use to fix a door to a wall? Hinges. Yeah. It goes inside. It's weird. It just has this little motion of... It's like there's only one little spot on it that can actually do something. You see the reflex of boom, and everything else follows. Just like a long chain polymer. They're just going... And you just see it like a spaghetti being slurped by this large, weird container. Slightly square in shape. What's that? Apparently I have something black also. I have my own potion somewhere. One thing you do notice is that where it slid on the container, it looks polished.
Like the container looks polished?
Yeah. It sort of makes a trail on the side as if a slug had moved across it. It's where the rest of its body, we'll call it, slithered next to on the container. That little bit of space looks polished, chrome polished.
Do you know that you're doing that? Do you do something to the metal surfaces you slide across?
I don't know. I didn't know it was called metal. But it's soft. It's smooth. I like the cold.
Uh-huh.
I get the feeling that Fisher's processor is just stuck in the loop of processing. Do you want
I'm
me to
trying
go
to
to...
figure out how...
Do you want me to go to the other players while you figure that out?
No, I won't.
I gotta go to bed soon anyway.
I'm gonna pour it out on my head.
Well, it's weird. It's I don't know what Sam is looking at, but as you said that, his eyes went really, really wide. You pour it on your
I'm
head.
gonna come back looking super shiny, guys.
Oh, that doesn't even cover it.
No possible downside to what I just did. Don't worry about it.
You turn it upside down on your head, and it falls. It's not an even spread. It slimes, it shifts, and it slides to you to one side. So you have a weird, I don't know, shape on the top of your head, and then suddenly, because it shifted, it goes completely smooth on one side of your head. So when someone looks at you, you have a chrome polished top of a head with two slither going down there, and then it fell on your shoulder, so your shoulder is completely shiny and smooth and polished chrome, fresh out of the production line. And then you have that reflex because it's sliding off to grab it with your hand, and the hand that grabs it, you see it. It's so smooth. You have this thought of, is that what a baby's butt feel like? You know, when they said as smooth as baby's butt? Maybe that's your equivalent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. You said it kind of. I mean, I can't really hold it, but I could. It's kind of sticky-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna scrub down with it. I'm just gonna get chrome. I'm gonna be all chrome.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be dope.
I don't know. I feel like I should impose disadvantage on stealth after that.
I already have.
I
this.
literally can't imagine this going on.
Well, other than a few comments from that creature saying, it feels weird when you rub me in this place. Are you sure it's okay?
Understandable.
You can totally do that. And, you know, at first, you sort of, there was this excitement of doing this. And then as you realize what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you also realize that there's a ton of gnomes around you, all gathered in a circle watching you do this, and not a single one of them is saying anything. It probably takes a good 5 to 10 minutes, but you have the feeling of having achieved what you were trying to do. You are fully chromed.
Hell yeah. This was worth it, guys.
You know, they say everything's chrome in the future.
I guess the only question left is, do you keep the creature or do you put it back in the container and put it back on the desk?
Oh, wait, you could have a tiny blob of polishing and a tiny blob in a jar. 2 blob friends.
This is a big blob, though.
Oh.
It's not, well, not big, but bigger. It's not a tiny blob.
Yeah.
It's a small blob.
You have a small blob
I think I
and a tiny
would put it
blob.
back in the container and put it back on
Not the desk.
the desk.
Okay, it's a larger container. It's happy with it. It's made of metal. It likes it. It thanks you. You know, it has that moment of, well, I thank you, I think, for the new experiences. Some of it was nice. Some of it was weird. But I end up in a better place than I was when I started. So I think it's good.
Same.
Don't be afraid to visit again.
Will do. My name's Fisher, by the way.
I don't know what my name is.
Ooh.
Maybe that could be a good reason for us to see one another again. Come back when you have a name for me.
Okay.
Call him Slyman. Simon.
All right, well, henceforth, Fisher is fully croned.
For the first time, like, ever. Because ever since Fisher got out of the water for the ocean that he was stuck in for months, 4-ish years ago, he has been weathered looking, so to speak.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you weren't chromed before.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, neither that. So,
For the first time, Fisher feels clean. And Fisher had so much fun doing this that for a brief moment, it felt like his eyes changed color, but you weren't able to see the real color.
because now they're also grown.
They've become fluorescent because the surface of the eyes were chromed.
Gonna get back, Remy's gonna have a panic attack and pass out. You're like, what happened?
I don't know if he's going to have a panic attack, but he's definitely going to have a reaction. All of his Kenku instinct are going to be screaming at him. All right. Well, I feel like if you want, we can end the stream on that weird note. But if you want, I can do the feather thing. Otherwise, like I said, it's weird enough that I don't feel bad about finishing this here.
I mean, with any luck, maybe Tobiyashi will be here at the beginning of next. So, and Jorg is tired, and he wanted to be included in that scene. So I feel like it would maybe be the most sensible thing to do.
All right. All right. Well, that's something I didn't expect happening tonight.
What will Toby think?
I don't know. He changed state of life, so he shouldn't have any problem with that. Good Lord. I'm just. I just want to be clear on that. You are aware that not all of this is completely planned. There are some things that I make as I go along.
What? What do you mean that wasn't scripted? I was following the script. What are you? It says right here, Fisher becomes a shiny boy.
Oh no, I didn't mean for that. I just mean for other things. All right, well, that was an interesting turn of event. Oh well, I can honestly say that has never happened before.
What, your weird slime thing? Someone hasn't dumped it on their head to get a makeover?
Exactly. That's not a reaction I've had before.
I did roll a 2 on my impulse control at the beginning of all this. So, you know.
Okay.
It's the dice.
Should
It's
have
not
rolled
my
for
fault.
my interaction earlier. I came so close to accepting that deal.
Really? Well, the question is always, was Jorg tempted or was Avery tempted?
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah.
I love it when bad guys pitch all their great ideas without, and there's never like the rebuttal of, yeah, you're the bad guy though. Why would I join you? Literally been fighting you this whole time. None of your logic is gonna make me think, oh.
Uh-huh.
Well, the enemy has to try, because
Yeah.
I gotta try and corrupt someone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
that I'll admit, it hasn't happened a whole lot that someone says, "No, I'm not gonna accept. You're the bad guy."
Yeah. Hunter guy gets an A for effort.
Yeah.
All right. So with this, it is an interesting moment and place to finish today's stream. When we're gonna come back, hopefully Tobiyashi is not gonna be homeless, and where he's gonna be able to join us, and we will almost be ready to start Tobiyashi's next side quest. We just have to settle what happens with the feather and see Remy's reaction when he sees Fisher rejoining the group. All right. So, with this, thank you for being here tonight. Hope you had a pleasant, whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. Roosevelt, if you're still there, thank you for being here tonight as well. Always a pleasure. I'll be there tomorrow for my map making, so I'll have more time to talk to you if you want to talk more. So yeah, for everyone watching, however, thank you for being here. Hope to see you next week, Wednesday for the live episode, Friday for the rebroadcast, and Thursdays for map making stream. Which I can confirm that after that map, we are going to try out the software for making town, villages, and cities. Atlee's going to make a few of those. That's going to be interesting to try out. Yeah, that's it. That's the schedule. So, hope to see you for one of those. On Friday, it is a rebroadcast, but I do not simply just let it run. I regularly visit to make sure that everything's happening properly and to see if anyone said anything in chat. It's just that I also eat dinner at the same time, so not eating in front of my computer or on top of my keyboard. That's mostly what happens. Yeah, so hope to see you again next week or tomorrow. And if you want to support, like we said just before the break, like, comment, subscribe, follow, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You can also make a donation. But if you can't do any of those, become a Patreon also. But if you can't do any of those, there's a very free thing you can do that helps tremendously, and that is spreading the word of the channel. So, that is all for tonight. Thank you for being here. See you next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.